All right, the conference finals are finally underway. If you see my last two videos doing the predictions for the playoffs, you'll see that I've been 100% correct in my picks so far. So definitely check those videos out after you finish this one. But today we're here to talk about the Eastern Conference Finals and the Western Conference Finals. Let's start out East. So in the East, we have the three-seeded New York Knicks versus the fourth-seeded Indiana Pacers, both coming off an upset in the last round over the Boston Celtics and the Cleveland Cavaliers. This is going to be an interesting matchup because this is obviously an age-old rivalry between the Knicks and the Pacers that's going to kind of get rekindled here in the conference finals this year. It already kind of started a little bit last year with that second round. If you see Knicks fans talk online and Pacers fans talk online, it's almost like they were watching a completely different series because the Pacers think that they were going to rout the Knicks regardless, and the Knicks only talk about the fact that most of their players were injured, which is very valid. Now we fast forward a year later, they're meeting up again in the conference finals, and this should definitely be really interesting. And it's the battle of the best point guards in the Eastern Conference currently. So that's just going to be an interesting debate that happens or may be decided by the end of the series. Who's better, Jalen Brunson or Tyrese Halliburton? That being said, let's talk about some of the strengths and weaknesses of each of these teams. When it comes to Indiana Pacers, they have that super high-octane offense. And last year, their defense was really suspect, but this year, they've really gotten their defense together, and it's honestly only helped their offense because it gets them out in transition, boom, 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 and they get those quick, easy buckets. When it comes to the Knicks, they have their star in Jalen Brunson that can get a shot at any time. They have Karl Anthony Towns, who can also get a shot pretty much at any time, inside or out, pretty much anywhere on the floor. But it depends on how the Pacers are going to be guarding him for sure, if they're going to be throwing double teams at him or Brunson. So when it comes to the Knicks, what I need to see from them is game-to-game consistency, because that's kind of been the thing that's been a little shaky for them, that and them playing at home. They do have home court advantage, but they actually haven't been the best home team when it comes to the playoffs. So what I need from them is to see that they're going to be consistently locked in from game to game, consistently working for good offense, consistently locked in on defense, okay? They need to be the harder hustling team for sure. They need to be crashing the boards, getting to the glass, getting all those extra opportunities on the glass. Because that's where I think that the Pacers are going to be weak. It's going to be down low with Mitchell Robinson doing all that dirty work, going and getting the boards, getting extra opportunities, similar to what he was doing to the Celtics. If you're not the more hustling team, it's very hard to beat this Knicks team. But that being said, with the Pacers, they've just been rocking and rolling, and their offensive system has been a juggernaut so far in these playoffs. It's really going to come down to whether or not they can work out those other little things, but I'm not worried about the consistency when it comes to their offense for sure. So the question is going to be, can the Knicks keep up with them defensively and then also not turn the ball over too much and get the Pacers going in transition? With all that being said, who do I trust more between Tyrese Halliburton and Jalen Brunson? What I do know is no matter how the game is going for Brunson, when it comes down to that fourth quarter, he's going to be locked in and he's just going to forget about whatever was going on the first three quarters and just know that it's his time to go off. When it comes to Tyrese Halliburton, he's going to make sure that he's getting everybody involved, and that's what really makes the Pacers so difficult to guard. So I could honestly see this one going either way, but I'm going to go ahead and lock in Knicks in 6. Let's go. Now we move on out to the Western Conference, and we have the 1-seeded Oklahoma City Thunder versus the 6-seeded Minnesota Timberwolves. Now, this is an interesting one as well because we have the battle of the probable MVP in Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, as well as all the amazing pieces that they have defensively on the Thunder, versus the young buck in himself, Anthony Edwards, as well as Rudy Gobert and those fellows. So it should be an interesting stylistic matchup. The thing that gives me the most worry when it comes to the Timberwolves in this is the fact that, one, the Thunder look like they're battle-tested now. They've seen serious adversity in the last round against the previous MVP and his team, and Aaron Gordon doing miraculous things, you know what I'm saying? The question is, will the Timberwolves be able to do some of those miraculous things it took the Nuggets to get some of those wins? And it's hard for me to say yes 100%. Anthony Edwards is a beast, don't get me wrong, Julius Randle's been playing the best playoffs of his entire career right now. But this defense that the Thunder is going to be coming with is going to be better than anything they've seen so far in the playoffs. Better than the Warriors, better than the Lakers. And yeah, you could say, damn, this Timberwolves team beat the Lakers and the Warriors. But when you take a little closer look at those series, you know what I'm saying? When it comes to the Lakers, they were just a stylistic bad matchup for them. And that Lakers team is not in its full form. It's very clear. You know what I'm saying? And when it comes to the Warriors, we didn't even get to see their full form in that series because their best player wasn't playing. So it's hard to get a full gauge of where the Timberwolves really stack up against some of these other teams. But I think that the Thunder are going to have enough to hold them at bay. And sadly for Anthony Edwards, he's going to be going out in the Western Conference again. So in this, I'm going to probably say, I'm going to say Thunder in 6 as well. And with that, the finals would be the Knicks and the Thunder, which would be really interesting, I think. But that being said, I'm not saying that the Timberwolves have no shot at beating the Thunder. I just think that the Nuggets had a better chance to do it. And when it comes to the Pacers and the Knicks, the Pacers could definitely beat the Knicks. There's no question in my mind about that. I just think that Jalen Brunson's going to be that little bit of an X factor that'll make those close games turn to the Knicks' favor. That being said, let me know your thoughts on the next round and who you think is going to make it to the finals this year. And like the video, subscribe, and have a beautiful day.